Happy new moon in Leo. This Leo new moon becomes exact on Tuesday, August 18th at 10:42 p.m. New York time, which is 2:42 Greenwich Mean Time on August 19th. This is one of my favorite lunations as I happen to be a Leo ascendant. It's time to unleash your personality, humor, and play. Let yourself be free and let yourself be yourself. It is a time to come out of hiding and express yourself. Leo is the most childlike sign of the zodiac, bringing with it an air of freedom, play, and unabashedness. It is an aspect that we all carry within, though unfortunately most of us forget it is there as we journey from childhood to our teen years and into various stages of adulthood. As adults, we can become so disconnected with how it feels to be a child. Lately, I found myself recalling how amazing and adventurous everything was when I was a kid. How my friends and I would spend from after school until sundown playing sports and games in my backyard, taking breaks to drink my mother's delicious lemonade. My yard was the biggest in the neighborhood, so all the kids would congregate here. I'm so grateful for my dogs as they bring me into that childlike consciousness constantly. Everything is exciting to a dog. My dog Sebastian adores running in circles, chasing squirrels, and then barking at them when they run up the trees. He loves when I take him to the beach. He gets so excited when he's in the car that he tries to climb on top of me, and I have to push him away so I can still drive. He has so much fun. One of the many irreplaceable gifts that dogs give to humans is helping us adults learn to play again, to be present, and to ground to the earth. Most adults in today's Western world have become disconnected from their inner children. Society is structured in a way that most people don't have time to connect with their inner child, as they are too busy just trying to earn enough money to survive, especially nowadays. And many of those who do make more than enough to survive end up finding themselves lost in illusions like gambling, alcohol, drugs, and ungrounded sex. In fact, one of the reasons that teens and adults find themselves so enamored with those things is that it gives them an outlet to play. And, I'm not saying there's anything inherently wrong with gambling, alcohol, certain herbal substances that are classified as drugs or sex. It's just all about how they're used. But we can find ways to play while being totally sober and while not engaging in sexual activity. We can run around in circles with our dogs. We can make silly faces at our partners or kids. We can make jokes. We can go for a barefoot walk in the woods. We can take a family adventure to the ocean. We can play catch with a Nerf ball. We can go camping, put away our phones, and play board games. We can sing silly songs. Doing an inner child meditation would be a great idea around this new moon. I like to take myself in my mind to a beautiful forest scene and really sink into that setting. I then imagine my inner child approaching from a distance, and I ask him what it is he needs from me that I haven't been giving him. I embrace him, I hug him, and I make sure he feels like I'm there for him and I'm listening to him. If you've never done an inner child meditation before, you may find that your inner child shows up at the age that you feel like you experienced the most trauma and abuse. This is because whatever basic physical or emotional needs that weren't met by your caretakers at that age are what you then spend the rest of your life healing. The things that people say or do that trigger you most directly relate to those unmet needs of your inner child. As an awakening being, you now have the opportunity to heal your inner child and experience the liberation of being a fully integrated sovereign adult consciousness. To do this, we first must get to know the voice of the inner child and identify what needs he or she has. When the inner child's needs haven't been met and then are continuously ignored during adulthood, the inner child must find a way to get the conscious attention of the operator of the consciousness, which is you. So the inner child will put on a scary mask, so to speak, and become the shadow. The shadow self can trigger you to act out in the darkest of ways or even to attract people to treat you in nasty ways. The shadow self may sabotage your dreams and make it difficult for you to move forward. The good news is that by listening to the voice of the inner child feels seen, heard, and acknowledged, and thus doesn't need to morph into the shadow to get your attention. when we consciously make the choice to honor those needs that the inner child has let us know he or she has, we can make rapid leaps forward in our spiritual development. Here are some questions to ask yourself to help you get into deeper communion with your inner child. I would recommend journaling or voice journaling on these if you have the time. If I had to guess, what would my inner child say about my life as it is now? Would he or she be happy about it? If I had to guess, what would my inner child say about my current living environment? Would he or she be happy about that? If I had to guess, what would my inner child say about my current job or career? Would he or she be happy about it? If I had to guess, what kinds of things have I been neglecting to give my inner child that he or she needs? And even better than guessing, what if I just asked my inner child these questions? Which activities or creative endeavors from my childhood have I neglected lately that might feel great to bring back? For example, I used to play the piano when I was a kid, and just recently I found myself playing around with the piano again. Have I been taking life too seriously? Do I let myself fall into the trap of the seriousness of those around me? In what ways am I mean or nasty to myself? How can I stop being mean or nasty to myself? Am I okay with failing? How can I learn to be okay and forgive myself when I fail or mess up? Do I forgive myself instantly, or do I tend to hold things against myself? How can I practice instant self-forgiveness? Do I tend to let others' negative emotions take me over? How could I avoid this pitfall? Am I okay looking silly or stupid to others? Does what others think of me actually really matter? Am I truly honoring my deepest desires? Expressing the higher personality. Did you know that souls have personalities too? That's right, in your higher form, you have a unique personality that other souls recognize in the afterlife between life space. Throughout your many incarnations, there have been certain personality traits that have been pervasive throughout your incarnations. If you have an unmistakable wit, for example, there's a high chance that you have been quite witty in other lifetimes as well. And it would be likely that your soul's highest personality contains a healthy dose of wit. There is such thing as the higher soul and a lower soul. The higher soul is the part of the soul that is pretty much aligned with the higher self, which holds the template of perfection for your experience here in the third, fourth, and fifth dimensions of the earth plane. The lower soul is the aspect of soul that has a personality, processes karma, plans lifetimes, and yes, even makes mistakes sometimes in doing so. The lower soul is like an incredibly intelligent person that has a huge amount of information to draw from. Perhaps a library of information, as well as a plethora of enlightened mentors, which in the soul's case are spirit guides and ascended masters. And using all of that information and guidance, it plans out incarnations as best it can. But it can still make mistakes, fascinatingly enough. The planning isn't always perfect, just like the free will choices you make in your lifetime as the person aren't always perfect either. Though, as we take into account the paradox that is life, and that's going to be the title of my first book, Life is a Paradox. On another level, every free will choice you make is perfect. We can make mistakes, we can differ from our life plan, and our life plan can be set up in a way that's imperfect. However, it is all perfect in another sense, because we still will go towards where we need to go, because no matter what, we're on an upward spiral of ascension. And although we can take as many detours as we choose, and although sometimes the soul wants to take things really fast and the person doesn't, and sometimes the person wants to take things really fast and the soul doesn't, and sometimes the soul wants to take things really fast and the person does, but regardless of the paradigm that you're working with between you and your soul, we're always on an upward trajectory of ascension. So, yes, although mistakes can be made, at the same time, there are no mistakes in the eyes of God. When planning out incarnations, the soul does it with joy and a special sense of personality that the other souls in its soul group of 12 and monad of 144 recognize closely. And as you begin to spiritually ascend in this lifetime and reach higher and higher levels of consciousness, you will naturally shed layers of the lower ego that hold unsupportive aspects of personality, such as patterns of victimhood that you learned from your parents, and you will start to illuminate more of the soul aspect of your higher personality, which could contain such virtues as wit, charm, charisma, and a radiance of inner love and beauty. One of the best ways to bring out that highest personality in your human form is to focus on purity. As empaths, we tend to sponge up stuff from others, and if we don't know how to shield or cleanse ourselves spiritually, we won't be able to experience our highest personalities coming to life. You can't be fully you if you're expressing all sorts of crap that came from others. To experience more purity, it is important to spend lots of time in sacred solitude and time in nature. And this is why when you just leave the woods or you leave the beach, you might feel uplifted and you might feel like being more outgoing and kind to strangers. Whereas if you're coming out of a bank or coming out of traffic or coming out of a doctor's appointment, you might feel stressed and closed down, and your aura will shrink and your highest personality won't be expressed. Or when you're playing a game, or when you're with others in a really positive way, sharing, you're naturally going to have that higher personality come out. But on this journey, it is so important that we have that alone time as well. And it's also crucial to practice spiritual hygiene. Take cleansing baths, use Palo Santo or sage, and use visualization and sound frequencies to keep yourself clear. Cut energetic cords with others. Avoid alcohol, marijuana, pornography, casual sex, and horror movies to best give yourself the best chance of keeping energetically clean and thus being able to bring out the highest aspects of your personality. And exercise too. Using willpower and determination to overcome obstacles. We have an interesting setup on this new moon with Mars in its own sign of Aries forming a clashing square to Saturn, which is retrograde in its own sign of Capricorn, and Pluto, which is also in Capricorn. Mars in Aries represents the use of the will to accomplish anything. This is clashing with Saturn in Capricorn, which preaches conservatism and realism. Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn have been the driving forces behind the calamities of 2020. Mars in Aries has been representing the perseverance of the people of the world despite the sickness, death, economic destruction, and restrictions of freedom that have been occurring around them. If you have found obstacle after obstacle coming into your path this year, you are not alone. In many ways, 2020 is a massive test of inner strength for all human beings. With this aspect that we're seeing in the sky, you need to look at your situation realistically. But know that the spiritual warrior within you will carry you through your obstacles and to the success you are seeking. Never give up on your dreams. Sometimes the universe presents obstacles in your path in order to wake you up in some way or redirect your journey in some way. However, oftentimes the universe puts hurdles in your path in order for you to face them fearlessly and leap over them. When presented with difficult issues or obstacles, ask yourself this simple question: what would the spiritual warrior within me do? Wishing you a very happy and playful new moon in Leo. This has been Matthew John. And, if you're not familiar with who I am, let me tell you a little bit about me. I am a spiritual teacher, intuitive healer, energy healer, and medical intuitive, working with angels and guides. I've been on an awakening journey for over a decade now. And I offer not only my articles, my videos on my website, but I also offer private sessions worldwide via phone, Skype, and WhatsApp. Okay, it doesn't matter what country you're in, we can find a way to connect. It doesn't matter what time zone you're in either, we'll find a time that works. And I do have some very special offerings. I have a very popular program called the Spiritual Mentoring Program. Honestly, I tend to be booked solid with this, but I do have room to take on new clients for my Spiritual Mentoring Program starting in September. And I just want to give you a little bit of a glimpse into the Spiritual Mentoring Program and what you can expect, and maybe you'll feel called to do this with me. There's 4 separate packages that you can choose from, A, B, C, and D. Package A has 4 private sessions with me, which includes an extended soul plan reading, and in that what I'm doing is I'm connecting with my guides and your spirit guides, and we're taking a broad overview of your life plan and talking about the place of certain events in your past in your life plan, what you're meant to learn from them, what you're meant to develop, your current soul lessons, and what you need to really work on now. We talk about karmic relationships. These could be with a partner, a child, a parent, a brother, a sister, a coworker, a best friend. Especially those relationships in your life that have been most difficult. These, you can be sure, are karmic relationships. Many of the souls behind these people may be in your soul group or in your monad of 144. And we talk about what happened in past lives and what the karma is still remaining here that needs to be alchemized, and then how it can be alchemized. And we go into your future, your highest possible future, your most likely future, different timelines you might take, and some advice for the future as well. The second session, we do an angel energy healing session, an aura cleansing, and that also includes a soul retrieval, an inner child healing, and an unhealthy attachments purging ceremony. It's a really in-depth, like shamanic journey, this session. And it's all about taking, the information that we learned in the first session from your reading about you, and now really going in and digging in and doing the actual work, the inner work, to help you develop into the highest version of yourself. And this includes a complete cleansing of your aura and an upgrade of all of your chakras. The third session, we do a medical intuitive nutrition reading, and that is for your physical health. So if you've been going through any sort of chronic or mysterious health issues, you've been going through from naturopath to acupuncturist, you can't figure out what's going on, or even if you're just in great health, which I hope you are, and you just want to know what the best diet for you is. You want to have some tips on really anti-aging, things like that. We go really in-depth with this and connect with the guides, do a body scan of all your organs, and within 2 weeks after the session, you'll get what's called an Intuitive Nutrition Report, and it's between 7 and 12 pages of personalized information that you can keep for life as far as supplements, best food, best exercises, best subliminals and meditations and sound healing frequencies, and all sorts of personalized guidance for you and your body that can help you be and continue to be your healthiest self. And you also get a chakra scan, and you'll get a report with that as well within 2 weeks in your email, detailing the state of your 7 main chakras. The fourth session, we do a Starseed discovery session. This is super fun. You get to find out if you're a Starseed, and if you're listening to this, you believe me, you probably are. And you get to actually not only learn what a Starseed is, how the whole Starseed mechanism works, and you get to actually take a journey there in the astral plane to your home planet or place of origin, whether it be in this galaxy or another galaxy, and you get to experience firsthand what that's like and meet your guides and get an activation from your galactic guides as well. It's an unforgettable experience, and we do record it for you. Any of these sessions can be recorded at your request. You also get 3 bonus webinars with that: Putting the Past in the Past, Mastering Your Intuition, Spiritual Hygiene, Cord Cutting, Grounding 101, and you get my bonus ebook, Developing the Skills of Discernment and Intuition. So that's all in Package A. Package B has all of that, plus you get a past life regression, 2-hour past life regression. And this, we not only do we go to past lives, we go to the space between lives in the astral plane, and we really make it very functional. So we interpret what you experience in these past lives in the context of what will be helpful for you to understand about your current lifetime. So, and it's really amazing to understand and see what you went through in another life and how it's kind of repeating itself now in a different way, and what you're meant to do this time. Because this is really what karma is about. Package C, you get all of that plus an hour, 10-minute future life progression session. This is a journey through the astral plane into your future on your highest possible timeline, 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years ahead. We can go to different points on the timeline wherever you want to go and as far out as you want to go. Some people want to go 40 years in the future. Some people are good going 10 years in the future. But it's really cool to actually see firsthand what your future looks like. And Package C, you also get other webinars. You get a deeper level of forgiveness, awakening the divine masculine, navigating the dark night of the soul, dissolving the ego, how to move on completely from your ex, and the human energy field 101. And Package D has all of that plus additional optimization coaching sessions. I am a life coach first and foremost. That's how I started. And so, that's why it's called spiritual mentoring. Underpinning all this is mentoring. And for people who want to have an extended mentorship with me, there's Package D options. So if you want to check that out, go to my website. It's youradivinehuman.org, all spelled out, youradivinehuman.org. And scroll your mouse over private sessions, and then it's the first tab. Click on spiritual mentoring packages, and you can check those out. Now, I am offering due to the current exchange rates, I'm offering a 25% discount to resident Australians, or a 20% discount to resident Canadians on all packages. And if you are not able to do a package right now, I do offer all of these sessions individually as well. And if you have any questions, about the new moon, or you have any personal questions, or any questions about the packages or the private sessions, the best way to contact me is this. Again, go to my website, youradivinehuman.org. And in the bottom right corner of the screen, it will show my name, and it has my picture, and it says Matthew John. Have questions, ask Matthew. Okay, click on that, and you can go ahead and type in your question and your email. And I no longer have the section on my website for the scholarship program. However, if there's anyone out there who is struggling financially right now due to the pandemic, and you can't afford to do a package or a private session, I will accept 3 clients at half price for a reading or a mentoring session, for a 35-minute reading or 35-minute mentoring session. So I'll take on 3, okay, for September. So if that's you, if the finances are not there right now and you feel you really need my assistance, email me. Okay, go to my website, click on the chat tab, send me a message. Make sure you type in your correct email address. And the first 3 people that need a half price reading or mentoring session, I will give that to them. But again, if you can pay full price for a reading or mentoring session, please do. All right, everyone, wishing you much love and light on this new moon in Leo. This has been Matthew John.